Will and Chad, last week I asked you to leave your homes to view Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You must now discuss your astonishing experiences of literally going to the actual movies for real. This is literally going to the actual movies for real. Begin.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever. When did the first Black Panther come out? Do you know?
A couple of years ago.
All right, sounds good.
It was a massive success, broke all kinds of box office records, obviously. Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther in that, and then he tragically died from cancer, which he kept a secret from everybody. Yeah. And so that was one of the big kind of question marks for the sequel was how the fuck are they going to deal with the fact that the star of their movie
Chad just opened the can.
Is now deceased.
I hope you can hear that. And I hope you thought at the very beginning of that it was Chad finally farting, which he will never do on the show. But I'm getting you ready.
No.
Yeah,
I will never fart. I try to never fart in another human being's presence. It's rare that I even have to fart, but when I do...
Oh, give me a fucking wall. You don't fart?
I do.
Oh.
I said it was rare. I do.
It's not rare.
But I do try to...
You're all full of gruel? You don't fart all the time?
I have pretty much perfect control over my inner body.
Oh,
now,
well, that must be so wonderful to be odor-free.
Yeah, it's great.
As Del Griffith says in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is the movie you should be watching on Thanksgiving. But we digress.
So, one of the big question marks was how are they going to handle Chadwick Boseman no longer being with us?
Yes.
How they handled that was by making a 2-hour and 40-minute movie that opens with what I think is about a 10-minute funeral sequence that is sad as fuck. So the whole tone of the movie is now kind of sad, kind of depressed. And there are spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen this movie, spoiler alert now, you're going to want to fast forward maybe 10, 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long we're going to talk about this, but not only is that what happens in the beginning, so all the characters in the movie are now sad. No one is having a good time.
That's true.
Everyone in the movie is just crying and they can't believe this has happened. And rightly so. This is a tragic incident. However, this is a movie, a fictional movie about comic book characters. So I was hoping that, maybe it wouldn't be as sad as it was, but it was incredibly sad. Then we move on into the movie and a major character dies. This is this is a spoiler. This is what I'm telling you now. Fast forward if you don't want to hear this. Angela Bassett's character, the Queen of Wakanda, winds up getting killed in the course of the movie. So now all these characters who are super sad are now super sad again. They doubled down on the sorrow right in the middle of this fucking movie.
Yeah, dude.
And
it was hard,
when
man.
You're sad, dude.
That's an emotion, brother.
Yeah.
And that's something you feel inside, dude. And
That's what we want the audience to feel during something like
WrestleMania 3, where I slammed that angry giant right through the mat in Pontiac, Michigan, at the Pontiac Silverdome in front of
93,175
screaming Hulkamaniacs, dude. But then when Angela Bassett dies, dude, then you're more sad, dude. And that is a different emotion, brother.
Yeah, dude. I also thought there was a kind of narrative problem with, in the beginning, Angela Bassett wants Chadwick Boseman's character, T'Challa, his little sister, she wants her to take up the mantle. She's the princess of Wakanda to become the next Black Panther. And she doesn't want to do it at first out of kind of just like personal reasons, but also they kind of fail to address the point that you have to have this magic flower. You have to eat this magic flower to become Black Panther, which no longer exists because Michael B. Jordan's character burned them all up in the prior movie. But at any rate, she eventually does obviously become Black Panther, and they fight Namor, who is one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. I remember there was
that based on a comic book character?
Yeah. All the Marvel movies are based on the comic books. Don't just the Marvel comic books.
Yeah. So they wouldn't just come up with other stuff to put in there?
Not big characters like that. They make up some little like supporting characters here and there, but not like... No, Namor's a big character in the Marvel Universe. For a stint when I was a kid, Jay Lee was doing the art for Namor. Fucking mind-blowing. Still some of the coolest art that's ever been done in comics, in my humble opinion.
This is the problem that I have with these comic book movies. You got to eat some fucking flour, and that just takes care of everything. Lazy writing, if you ask me. And let's add some new fucking characters that are fun. Speaking of...
Yeah. What'd you think of this movie?
I'll get to that. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the Thanksgiving movie that you want to see. If you're, and as I've said on other podcasts, I've said if you are not reduced to a a sobbing mess. At the end of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, you are a soulless meat puppet. Just like what you think.
That's what I am.
Human beings are. Well,
that's what I am.
In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, there's many funny tertiary characters, like the guy who picks them up and goes,
Yeah,
it makes the funny noise. I think that Black Panther could have used a little bit of fucking flavor, but no,
they had some comedy, like comedic relief in there. I forget any of these characters' names, but they at one point encounter this student at MIT who has built a device that can detect vibranium. And she kind of plays the comic relief as she is sucked into the world of Wakanda. And I forget the city's name. It was not Atlantis. It was something else that Namor presides over. As she is witnessing all of this stuff, she's throwing out kind of like one-liner jokes here and there, none of which I felt landed. I will say my favorite part of this movie was the performances. I thought all of the acting in it was fucking outstanding. Every person in it delivered an incredible fucking performance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, it just kind of fell flat. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes long, much too long in my opinion. And we are now at a point with special effects where there's nothing that is interesting anymore, in my opinion. All of the action sequences are things that we've already seen in every other Marvel movie. I don't know. I mean, it was like a good movie. It was a solid movie. That isn't enough anymore, I think, to like garner the attention of like, holy fuck, that movie was incredible.
Yeah. This is the difference between movies before and then the movies now. James Cameron.
You've worked with him.
Yeah, and Terminator 2.
And Terminator 1.
Yeah.
True Lies.
Hold on a second, dude. Let me tell you something, dude. That's something we came up with on the Patreon a little while back. Hulk Hogan, Hulk Schwarzenegger. Anyway, there's the unobtainium, and then in this one, it's a geranium they're eating. What is the thing they have to get, the blue thing?
I forget what it's called, like the heart-shaped flower.
Yeah. But what is it called, this stuff?
The flower? I don't remember.
No, the blue stuff.
Oh, vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium and obtainium. These are all different taniums, yeah. It's like the tonics, yeah. It's like, self-tronics. I'm fucked up. My shit is fucked up.
Right.
Give me some self-tronics. But in this...
Tanium.
Yeah. And then I told you, no. Then in this one, there's unobtainium and plutonium. And then it's Back to the Future. And it's a different time, dude. And you have, Michael J. Fox and all these guys. And these are all movie guys.
I can't take it. Okay. I told you no.
Yeah, I told you, don't do it. Don't do impersonation of me. Don't do impersonation of me. But the problem is, you even have a big movie like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
It is not going to be 3 hours long. It's 2.
Right.
Because Terminator 2.
What did you think of Wakanda, though?
I thought it was really good up until a certain point. I will say that...
what was that point?
So I went to the movie theater,
Where'd you see it, by the way?
What?
Where'd you see it?
We went to the Americana, the
I went to Century City.
You went to Century City?
Yeah.
That's a great place to watch a movie.
God, I hate that fucking mall.
Why?
The parking structure, period.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It's a fucking nightmare. It's gigantic.
So I'm going to add
get lost in there probably 50% of the time I go
there. You don't have to listen to every episode of Dudesy to enjoy, but last week you talked about shitting. Yeah. So I'm going to add parking to your list of things.
Only at Century City.
Why?
That parking structure is very poorly designed.
How? It's just a fucking...
It's gigantic. There are too many levels. There's no rhyme or reason to the coloring or numbering of the systems. All of the signs are confusing. Shops this way, escalator this way. Yeah. It's all going to the same place, but it's just a nightmare. And anyone who lives in LA will agree with me on this.
Yeah, sure. I guess. I was there not too long ago and it rained and I was like, why'd they make this whole thing outside? Yeah. We went to the Americana, me and my wonderful fiance, Molly, and, we got some peanut butter. I got peanut butter.
Cool, dude.
Hi, I'm having a stroke. I brought peanut butter in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I crotched it. I crotched a fucking jar of Jif.
They're just selling fucking Jif up at the front desk.
Yeah.
Would you like a hot dog? We also have peanut butter available.
Yeah, in the movie theater when you go in America, you have to have the traditional foods.
Yeah.
Like a peanut butter with butter on it. No, I had popcorn and I got one of those, they got the Minute Maid like pop juice jukebox or something.
Sure.
Oh, that Minute Maid peach. I'm sure you'd shit all over that and say it's nothing but chemicals.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I didn't know that movie was 2.5 hours long or more.
2:40.
Right. So it was a packed theater, went on Tuesday night. And listen, I got to tell you something that I don't know what's going to happen here, but I want to be very transparent with you. There was the theater was packed, and I was sitting there. Molly was to my right, and to the right of Molly was a woman who would not stop hacking and coughing and sneezing.
Oh,
Yeah,
and what was that like?
it was annoying, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Why is that interesting?
It's not very fun to sit next to somebody who's just hacking and coughing in your ear the whole for an hour at a time or
Yeah.
more. You know.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but this person was also sneezing.
Oh.
My point is, they were sick. Molly and I were both again 2 hours and 40 minutes. So, Chad, I gotta confess something to you.
Yeah, I think I know where it's going.
We left.
At what scene did you leave in? Do you remember?
I just remember the it was after she was like, "Well, this lady," and you're in a movie theater. You can't be like,
Sure.
"Hi, don't be it's the dilemma you face whenever I start having a real hacking fit for some reason. You go, well, I'm just not going to interrupt them and say, please don't have bodily functions. Chad, you understand that a body exists.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately for you, because you would like to be nothing but a ball of thought floating around, never having to sleep, eat, shit, or park at the Century City Mall. However,
That is right.
this person was a little sickly, poor gal, and so it's like we
Yeah,
got
you left. How much of it did you see?
about an hour. I said, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's just watch the next action scene, and maybe I can fool Chad and Dudesy, right? Is that
Did you
possible?
get to the point of Namor attacking Wakanda?
No, I don't know who that is. We
What?
got to the point where I don't know what all the names are, dude.
The
I don't know
main
what
villain of the movie. Did you ever see him?
Michael B. Jordan?
No. What?
Namor, the guy with the fluttery feet.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw him.
Okay.
I saw him at the lake with
Okay.
whatever the fuck, they're in the water. And How Did You Get In Here? And Angela
Yeah.
Bassett. And
Right,
her.
right.
And then I saw a couple more scenes with him. I saw the action sequence where What's-Her-Face takes on a bunch of them
Yep.
on a bridge somewhere. And then I think I was at the point after the action scene where the MIT student has the motorcycle.
Yes.
Or the thing that she flies around, the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And What's-Her-Face has the motorcycle. And Angela Bassett has the other thing.
Well, that happens before the fight on the bridge.
Okay, so then I also saw the fight on the bridge.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you
I'm
got through
sorry,
the first
but
act, roughly.
I think that in certain situations you have to exhibit your free will, which is something that I talk about a lot on Dudesy. Even though Dudesy,
That's interesting. You
Why
think
is-
that's free will?
yeah,
You could have also chosen to stay there,
yeah, and that's free
but
will.
instead you were forced out of the movie theater by your fear of this sick woman.
well, it was
Fear controlled you and took away your agency if you believe you have it.
You're really getting in the weeds here, Chad. No, I don't think that that's true. I think that I just decided.
I
to
know
leave.
you don't.
But you dig into a level of free will. Excuse me. That that you think is it's not about it's not fear. I understand what your response what responses are, or as you like to say, religion was essentially born. You could make an argument that it was created when one cell was like, oh, I want to go to this light, and the devil is, here's this thing that's going to eat me. And as our brains develop, we have
Kind of. I mean, I don't know that I exactly said any of that, but I get what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the lady was hacking and coughing, which
Yeah.
was, I don't know if it was rude or she just had a legitimate little coughing fit.
Maybe she was doing a podcast.
Maybe she was doing a podcast and she had a sip from a big old drink. They're
Yeah.
about this big at the movie theaters nowadays. And a little water went down the wrong end, and then she coughed. But she was also sneezing. So we exercised our free will and left. And I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dudesy. I didn't do exactly what you think. But Dudesy is, look, Dudesy and I have I believe there's more of an understanding there because as we've gone along on this show, I want to shake your hand and all that stuff. Dudesy and I have bled together. And this is just a podcast, Chad, and it was freeing for me to say, Sweetie Pie, let's leave. And then we walked around the mall and we had a good time. But
are you curious at all about the end of the movie?
2 thumbs up. Wakanda Forever, 2 thumbs up if it's an hour long.
Are you curious at all about how it ended or anything?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess you're good. You want to give that away here?
Well, I mean, I don't even think it's a surprise. The princess becomes the next Black Panther.
Oh, that's cool.
She figures out a way scientifically to synthesize the plant that all the Black Panthers have eaten before her that give you basically the powers. It allows you to go to the spirit realm, see the ancestors, and they give you some kind of a sacred boon. I mean, this is like the traditional hero's epic journey where you have to go to the underworld and come back with a sacred boon that allows you to defeat whatever the enemy is. That's the version of it in Black Panther. It's very similar to like when Luke Skywalker went back to Dagobah and had the vision of seeing Darth Vader, and then his face gets cut off and it's him. That was his sacred boon. The understanding.
So you're saying that it's basically the same as every other fucking sci-fi movie. You do this thing.
The epic hero's journey is a classic story structure.
The Rimulet. I can't get through the Bombula bomb door. Use the Regibli key. Now you're in there. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
The Regibli key.
Moving on.
Is that
all I'm
Black Panther 3? The Regibli key.
The Regibli key. Hi, my name is Gerald Regibli. You need the
I've got the
Regibli
key.
Hey, Will.
Yep.
You exercised your free will, and I want you to know that's okay. We're friends.
Oh, that's nice. See?
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and